Fnatic going for a bit more comfort here, and we'll see how Spawn responds to this double squishy support duo from Fnatic. It does look like a great Ember game. Potatu, one of the more experienced Ember players, I would say.
Do you want to pick your mid laner here, considering you
Yeah,
don't see Fanatics at the moment?
I think you should because it's good against your support already and enables your Mirana to play. Like you have a pairing already. You also
Right.
kind of need a hero that deals with this illusion. So Ember's really nice here, I think.
Yep.
Taking some time to think.
Is there anything else that can fulfill like a similar role to the Ember? Never mind. Very good
Uh,
call.
Not too sure. I just think it's like comfort for him, right? And you
Yep.
want this hero that kills both supports. Ember's like pretty good at it.
Yeah, I was mainly just trying to cover the track if there was something else that could be a potential that we just weren't seeing. But Ember will be picked up here for Swan. So like you mentioned, it's going to be
Let's hope we have Spawn lacking a carry and Fnatic lacking their mid, I would say. Well, what's good here? SF Morphling kind of heroes, I would think. Just a hero that Fnatic can kind of play around and apply a lot of pressure with.
Can you go for more of like a greedier position too, though? Do you feel like you need a playmaker having the Naga?
I feel like you need a hero that does high physical damage and you can play around. Because Naga's a strong hero, but she kind of wants to play by herself. Fnatic don't really have like a frontline-ish hero that you want to play around right now, like the DKSF kind of hero where you just follow. It looks like Spawn thinks the same. They do remove the SF. Fnatic with the Ursa ban. Ursa. What will Spawn go for here? I wonder if they'll go for this gyrocopter again.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Gives you a further way to be able to address the Naga Siren if they want to go down that route. They do have some issues with taking objectives as well for Spawn, so that's something also the Gyro is going to be able to help out with.
I think in general against Naga, I just want heroes that you don't allow him to have like a lot of illusions alive for very long. So like these Gyro, Swens, Ember, these kind of heroes, like they kind of clear. The thing about Naga is he gets to his hard timing very fast, and he does build like Mage Slayer for the Bloodthorn later on as well. The Dusa ban, I think that's really good. Dusa is a really good pick for Spawn actually. Kind of missed it.
Fnatic's turn to pick.
Puck's going to be banned out as well, so they won't have that potential for Armel to go for. So
Radiant team
be a pretty fast pick, and it will actually be the Mars from Fnatic. So a little bit more team fight for them to play with. Could be the Mars mid, could be the Dawnbreaker mid.
That is true. I wonder what they'll go for here. I guess it kind of depends on Spawn's last pick as well.
Can you jug with
10
Maelstrom?
seconds remaining.
Let's go
It's
Maelstrom
okay.
Shard.
I don't think it's a great hero right now.
Yeah, I don't
5
either.
seconds remaining.
Trying to.
I'm trying to find heroes, man, but I can't find any. So again for the third time today.
Dude, I lost my hero sheet in front of me, and I need it back. Just
I'm just
blanking.
having
Choose your hero.
Morphling. Morphling's pretty decent. I like the Morph. Yeah, they picked it. Okay.
Well, what's your opinion about the Morph into the Naga? Because I've kind of heard like, of course, it's an agi carry. It's great when you get Scepter. If you use it onto Illusion, it's going to steal the attack speed as well from the Naga, from the real Naga. But he's also a hero that doesn't particularly need a whole lot of attack speed. Like, kind of how does this carry matchup go at this stage that we are in the meta?
It's a very weird interaction because I think Morphling fears the Naga if the Naga goes for Diffusal or Skadi, but we've seen recently in times that the Naga doesn't really go for that build. And also Morph has he steals like base stats, right? Which Naga kind of cares about. The attack speed, yeah, not so much. But there's also this thing where if you buy Lincolns on Naga, the Morph can never replicate your illusion, and he cannot break the Lincolns on the illusion. So it's super annoying to play against. I think that matchup can kind of go both ways, but I do not think that Naga is a counter Morph thing.
Wait, what? The Illusions get the Lincolns?
Yeah, you get the link. You cannot be replicated. Like it gets Lincoln blocked. But if you use any other spell, it doesn't proc Lincoln. So it's a kind of a weird interaction. I don't know why it exists, but
What
yeah,
is that
that's how it is.
What is that mechanic? What? Okay, very interesting. So, okay, so you mentioned multiple routes here for Gabby. Do you feel like Lincoln's is going to be on the card, like third, fourth item? You mentioned Diffusal Scotty as well. Does that fit in somewhere? Because at the moment we are seeing this Manta into Orchid into Heart. So can he try to change it up a little bit or no?
I think he'll probably still go for that build. Maybe the heart will change to Scotty. Because if you go for Diffusal early and this Ember or Primal Beast are around, you can't really like hit people with your illusions. They kind of just die anyway. Which is why people stop going for the build completely and they play for this Manta split push drag the game kind of thing. Also interesting enough, DJ is playing the Disruptor here, so they do want this Aghanim's on the Disruptor to have a very high priority here.
I guess how else would they kill the Morphling if they don't get this Scepter? Would have to
this
be...
Tusker should rush BKB, I think. Super unorthodox, but I think that's like the only way they saved from the Aghanim song.
Oh, wait, it's that Crocodile Courier again.
Oh, do I need to ask Dalu what career is that? It's so nice.
I
I haven't seen the name.
I
found
hate
it.
this.
It's
I
called
just
Drop
wanna see the
Nozzle.
I hate trying to zoom in when it's goddamn paused. It's
Oh,
so
no.
awkward.
You just zoom into the Primal Beast. It's called Drop Nozzle. What a name.
Dude, this guy is so dope. Look at him. Oh my.
Crocodile fan. Crocodile fan. Big fan.
Not tradable or marketable.
Oh no.
Oh no. What? Why?
Why is right? Why is very right?
Dude, look at this thing.
Where is it from?
Uh
I need to know.
Oh my god. That's a goddamn what the careful with that line there, sir. Don't get too creative with it. Who's drawing? Goddamn genuine. Oh sorry. Oh not DJ. DJ up to his shenanigans. And right.
Baiting you.
Yeah, I was worried for a second. Like, hang on, dude. I don't know. Where are you going with this? Where are you going with this line, Jerome? We don't want to be seeing none of that. So, alright. We saw, again, keep in mind, just in regards to the standings, Spawn team, they are second place with a 6-2 map count. Their only losses was yesterday, where they got 2-0. That was with a stand-in as well. That was no Wami, and Kamizu was playing? Was Kamizu the stand-in?
Correct.
Kamizu was,
Correct.
yeah, they got 2-0 by Purple Paradox. So what I said earlier as well was incorrect. Purple Paradox are not actually on top of Spawn. For some reason, I blanked and thought they 2-0'd, even though they didn't. So Spawn and Purple Paradox are both currently tied with a 6-2 map count. So Spawn would really like to continue to get some distance away at the top of the table. And it's going to be difficult, though. Fnatic, of course, had a really honestly rough game one showing against Xerxia, and then they had an incredible game two where they just won in 25 minutes. So was a kind of night and day difference for them, the polar opposite. So we'll see what we get out of them, but it's looking like a pretty good draft from Fnatic, honestly. Do we feel like there's concerns for Spawn with how they're able to address the 5-man that Fnatic have?
I like Fnatic's draft, but I think Spawn does have a lineup that can deal with it. It really comes down to this Ember. I think it's a really good Ember game, but if he messes up and dies once or twice, the game's gonna go down hard for Fnatic, I would say.
If the Ember is ever going to be killed off in a game like this, kind of what is the sequence of abilities that we're going to see? What is his big concerns in this game?
The Rubik lift is always super scary. Just lift into Spirit Arena, probably will die. it's kind of hard for Tuskar to save in a game like this, like Storm Arena, things you can't really save from. And there's just I mean, Armel can always do the Spirit into Arena. We see it quite often nowadays. Long down mid from both teams. Very common occurrence recently.
Let's see. Who's the first point of contact going to be? Smoke pops. KP. Going to see Potter 2 should be a pretty easy D ward. And Dire also get their own ward placed as well. So, in regards to, you mentioned just previously with how the Ember, kind of the concerns for him and kind of the way he might be killed off in a game like this. But how's his lane kind of shape up here for Potter 2 against the Mars? We weren't too sure if it was going to be KP playing the Mars and if they give him the Dawnbreaker, or if they had a little bit of flex heading into the later stages of the draft. But how do we feel this matchup shapes up with the Mars into the Ember?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I think it's slightly Mars favorite, just slightly.
Okay.
The spam from coming out, I mean, it's super annoying, but I'm not sure. Can't say I've seen this matchup a lot.
Yeah,
Mel did pick the Mars into the Ember, so probably something there.
The battle begins.
Yeah, I wonder as well what the skill build's actually going to be out of the Mars, because we've seen so far it's in particular the mid Marses that I've been seeing. They've been maxing out the spear, and in the lane we were kind of seeing a little bit more God's Rebuke, putting emphasis in that just with the spam. But of course that did get nerfed in the past, so I don't know how much value he'll get out of the spear in a lane like this where Potter 2 can play with the Flame Guard. So gonna be intrigued for Armel's skill build if it will be any different.
Yeah, it's true. I like the max spear just because of the stun duration. They kind of do like a bit of lockdown in this game, but I think Fnatic, they tend to draft a bit of more of a 15-20 minute timing, a bit later compared to most teams. So might just be playing for that once again.
What do you think is a reasoning where teams? This is probably a very loaded question, but is this just the dynamic of the team, or just the way they feel Dota should be played?
I think it's hard to say. I think some teams, they have players that you want to play around heavily. Like I know previously, like there are teams that they play around their carry, and their carry doesn't like to fight before he has like 2 or 3 items. So the team just kind of plays towards that mainly. You have like a very aggressive mid laner, for example. I think teams like maybe Exegration as an example, where Palos is like a hyper aggressive carry, then they kind of come together earlier in a sense.
Okay. So it really just depends on kind of the individual players and what they prefer in a game. So bottom lane, Jikroy might be in some trouble at the moment. KP does connect on the last swipe, so Son's going to be out from Jikroy. Only 1 point in the attribute shift, of course, at this level 2 stage, but that will be enough to keep him alive as he ducks into the tree line.
The gunner told me something cool about Morphling. He said if you throw your strength adaptive strike and you turn into a strength hero, like for 0.5 seconds, it's always max stun.
Always?
Yeah, as long as it's a strength hero. So you just adaptive strike rep, and then you turn into the strength hero, and it's just max no matter what.
Interesting. I guess.
Internet issues.
Nice. You love your quick unpauses. Let's go, baby.
I was ready to give them my pause time.
Not all of it though. Not all of it.
it.
Dude, this disrupt the set. We've been speaking. I mean, you kind of have to speak a lot about the sets with the cache that came out recently. Dude, we've seen this a couple times. The Static Storm looks so awesome.
That is true. It's really cool.
There's a lot of cool disrupt the
as well.
sets.
Yeah, I like the previous one.
What's the previous one? There's a lot of previous ones.
Oh no, let me find it.
I was gonna say, what do you classify as the previous one, Jikroy?
It's called Righteous Storm.
Oh, it didn't attribute shift, or it didn't even want this well. KP just brings him down. Beautifully done. First blood's gonna be picked up in our top lane as well. Gabby In a little bit of trouble at the moment. Mamongdai instantly clearing off the illusions. Another snowball on forward as well. Multiple deaths across the map for Fnatic as mid lane Potter 2 gets a solo kill on Armel.
Wow, that's an unexpected one. Just probably dodged a spear, maybe? I didn't really see what happened. But props to Poda too.
Jikro's in some trouble. Still only 1 point in the attribute shift. KP lines up the combo. Travens himself will also line up the arrow to hold DJ back.
Never refuse gold given.
Jikroy. Kind of the only one suffering in this laning stage. Gabby went down, but still has pretty decent CS.
Hmm, 24 and 5 compared to the 21 and 3.
Has been killed.
Wonder if the chains maybe caught Armel off guard. Those chains on top of a big create wave helping out for the damage. Regardless, so Potter 2. Great start. He's got the boots. Blights are now completed as well, so that little bit of spam's gonna help pay off against the Mars. Tusk is...
Well, he bought the Blightstone. Interesting.
This is interesting as well. Tusk TP'd back and now is smoking out to the lane.
Boom, boom. Gotta run fast. Gotta go fast.
Neow.
Kinda sees Jao. Yeah, I was gonna say the Blightstone's interesting because he has level 1 slide, so...
Ooh. Rabbit's almost going down. 2 points in the glimpse. Not enough damage, but... Yeah, only level 1 in the slide. Very interesting from Potter 2.
Probably like you mentioned, probably the chains caught Armel off guard, leveled it to get the kill. It's work out for him.
Travens, micro down bottom. Thunderstrike, one more tick.
Oh.
Should be enough. At least it gets the arrow up before he dies. So Jikro might be able to get a return kill. Especially now with Potter 2 showing up. Gonna be a 1-for-1 trade in the end. Very nicely done. Travens goes down but lands the arrow before he gets put in the grave.
They see him leaving. Does not drop a remnant.
See instantly as well. Delu's going to look to try and venture over to mid to soak up some of the experience. Make sure nothing gets wasted across the map. You've got level 6 now for Armel to play with as well. What would we like to see out of this first arena of the game? Hang on, KP. Oh, the arrow. Oh, gets a connection.
Oh.
Travens, beautifully done, was waiting for the Celestial for KP to reposition towards the tower, and he lined up the arrow perfectly.
Structures are fortified.
Nicely done. Meanwhile,
They're playing around mid, yeah, Armel. There we go. There's that first arena of the game. Snowball will not be able to get him out of range. Does delay a decent chunk of the arena timing. They might be lacking the damage now for the moment. But with the second support showing up, that'll pay off dividends to be able to secure the kill. And now they might even turn to the Ember Spirit as well. Just trying to dwindle down the resources. They should be able to kill off Potter 2, but they want to make sure he doesn't have too much health to be able to help protect the tower. Or maybe...
Armel. Oh, it's fine. Ball refill. I'm in from Dalu. Nice damage on tower from Fnatic. Recognizes that the Ember did go ball in.
Dire are scanning.
Meanwhile, Mamongdai is just solo up top at the moment. Arga's back in the jungle, and Januel left the lane, of course, so... Humberbase having a lovely time so far. Phase Boots going to be into the BKBs, his first real big item. They still got the catapult as well, so I'd like to see them look to get aggressive.
Especially with Gabby jungling. We saw this yesterday from the same duo, Naga Rubik, where Zhao just kind of holds the lane by himself. We'll get punished here.
Oh, they
KP,
actually want to
they want
defend him,
the
okay.
tower.
Great snowball from Delul. Perfect timing to be able to dodge the stun and the shard. Oh, Delul.
Alright, so they move KP up here now. Jikroy gonna have a free lane. DJ after his wave can't really lane down here anymore, I believe.
Januel might still go down though. You'd hate to give over the kill considering how much you committed for KP to rotate. They're going to try and bring in a +1 being DJ. 2 points of the clips will be a decent chunk of damage. Mamongdai attempts to turn around with the Pulverize. Delul has the snowball up in a couple seconds as well. They need to try and secure the kill before the cooldown. And they're able to do just that. Beautifully done. That extra +1 from DJ paying off huge.
Big TP, level 5, minute 8, close to 6. Super high level on the disruptor. Mid lane, the arrow. Fishing, but does not land.
Just going to give a little bit of space as well to Jikroy. We'll be working on the Lincolns, in fact, for the Morphling as that first item. You were kind of mentioning that the Ember, like his vulnerability in a game like this is really going to be the telekinesis into the stun control afterwards, and probably going to be pretty similar for Jikroy as well.
Refuse gold given.
Yeah, but now the shard exists, so it's kind of weird to me. I think it's mainly for the Naga later on. I'm not too sure.
Or
It
top
feels
lane.
weird to buy Lincolns on Morph now.
They're able to blow up the Tusk before Mamungdai and Potter 2 can look to have something else to say about it, so... Nicely done.
DJ
And our
taking
bottom lane,
bottom.
yeah.
Gabby, he can learn Song if he wants to. 500 HP on the Morph.
There's the
gets in.
Song. Really nicely done. Song into the Static Storm. Potter 2 is going to be nearby, but there's nothing they can do. It does.
Oh, Gabby's gonna
Solar
go down
Guardian
here.
as well. They might even lose Potter 2. He steps over to the northern side, so he's going to be able to miss out on the Solar Guardian stun, which is something they were requiring to kill the Ember.
Nice ultimate from KP, otherwise Gabby might have gone down there. Big setup by DJ and Gabby.
Gonna get lucky with the rune. Looks like Armel will. So Arcane now to play with
Is under attack.
this next arena. Is gonna try and move to top to protect the tower. They have a TP on the Rubik. They're probably gonna need the +1. Well, unfortunately for the Rubik, he's currently under the pump at the moment. He's gonna end up going down. Top lane Armel does end up jumping in. Doesn't actually have the damage at the moment. Mamungdai still will charge away. The tower being a big issue for the Primal Beast, but we'll make it away.
Dire's top tower
There's the
has
deny.
been denied.
A little bit of chunk of gold, and early on it's Fnatic with the net worth lead. Very even game though, 6 to 7 in regards to the kill count.
Nothing too much happening. Kinda a lot of small plays from Fnatic. Some kills here and there. KP making good use of his ultimate. You see him going for a Wraith fight this game. Straying away from that Deso, which he'll probably let his Mars buy later on
Under
maybe.
attack.
Do we feel like there might be some difficulties for Fnatic to deal with this roaming trio that we might see out of like the Ember, Tusk, and Mirana? top
I don't
lane?
think the Ember Mirror really
Arena
strong.
Static Storm combination. Primal Beast gonna have one
Oh, the
person
arrow.
TPing in, but the arrow's gonna hold back the Mars as well. But they didn't have the damage with the two members on Fnatic.
Oh,
Now
Darus,
Spawn
yeah.
is starting to move their resources top to be able to catch out Fnatic on the retreat. Looks like DJ will be the sacrifice as Armel does TP all the way back to base.
Armel doesn't die, it's DJ. Not too big a deal for some rotation up there too. Bot lane Jikroy trying to make a play. No.
And he's farming pretty nicely, Jikroy at the moment. Top of the net worth. The Dire cores are having a very good time as well. Really, the only core at the moment struggling. Ember's got, KDA's looking great, but in regards to the net worth, just a little bit behind at the moment. Potatil will be working on the BKB as his first item as well, so won't have this Maelstrom to accelerate his farm.
Yeah, he's so poor after a solo kill on Armel. Armel doing a good job to keep up in the creep hitting, I would say. Almost 40 CS difference with Porta 2. Moving around a lot, but
Dire's top
not too
tower
many
is
kills.
under attack. Radiant's
Smoke up.
bottom tower is under
Spawn.
attack.
Anticipating the movement from Fnatic down to bottom, they're going to see Armel. It's just Potter 2 that's trying to set up for the defense. He's got the Mirana nearby. Armel using the spear will now give the Ember an opportunity to try and clear this wave and get out. Even going to TP in a +1 as well. Dalul's going to show up just in case. Got to be cautious. There's the first stun. The follow-up should be there as well, as DJ's going to lay down the Static Storm. Nothing Radiant can do. They attempt with the snowball into the middle, but maybe with the turnaround from among Dire, but instantly stop short thanks to the glimpse. They want to go for more though, potentially for Fnatic. Pushing aggressively, chucking out some spells, trying to force some reactions, but they're a bit hesitant about diving under the tower with all the abilities used prior, so should be happy though with the kill onto the Ember, continuing to slow down his game.
Some very awkward movement from Pota 2 there, turning around the tree line, knowing Mars was there, just eats a spear into an arena. Not even the lift from the Rubik. Like, small wins.
And have a fight as well by the power rune. Radiant, use the Moonlight to try and secure this. And it's going to be a double damage rune up top from Potter 2. Would you like to see them try and do something across the map, even though they did just smoke?
I guess Ember needs to catch up. I think he's moving around and just not getting enough.
Okay.
Armel does have his dagger now. This Ember cannot afford to reach a point in the game where he cannot kill Fnatic supports. I think it's way too important that he has a good game.
Just a quick thing to mention as well, Fnatic, they double smoked with Genuel and Gabby up top. Genuel stole the arrow, so I think they were going to look for a song in the lane if Jikro were pushing out a little bit too far to farm that.
Radiant's top tower is under
Lost
attack.
small place by Fnatic. Kind of looking to smoke here. See mid. DJ looking for a glimpse, but Dalul has the snowball. Yeah, that was
Is under
a good
attack.
attempt.
This stolen arrow is actually going to be a really big issue here for Spawn. They do have some pretty decent ways to set up.
Dire's bottom
They do,
tower
and
is
Spawn
under
look
attack.
like they want to smoke too. Jikroy. Oh, they're
Oh, the
gonna
high
bang
ground
into
advantage.
Armel
They clipped
here.
up. Armel isn't able to get the arena off for the Static Storm, would really provide them a whole lot as well for Fnatic. Armel will now be able to play around with the ultimate, which holds Spawn off to the left side, but Fnatic, they're going to look to get out. Great telekinesis from Genuel, might be able to hold back Mamung Dai for the moment, but they've helped slow down the Rubik, and they will be able to remnant on forward to help secure the kill, but they're not done just yet. As Dalul catches up to Armel. Gabby's considering about the song, and it's going to come out afterwards as well, but he runs into the arrow.
Oh, the arrow.
No, Travens lines up the arrow, has the damage, and now they'll turn to KP as well. At the mouth of the pit, all KP can hope for is a potential denier, but that'll be stopped short.
Spawn doing a really good job of bringing the numbers. Kind of an awkward start there. DJ throws the Static Storm and Arena as well, and the Tusker buying a bit too much time. You have to run in the end. Big fight for Spawn. Jikroy close to his Yasha, but Gabby Manta completed going for the Orchid build like you mentioned, probably hard afterwards.
Potter 2? Is there going to be any follow-up on this spear?
Are fortified.
They're even going to glyph the wave as well. Really wanting to try and slow down the Ember.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Oh, it is interesting Dalul choosing to go for a offering instead of some dagger or BKB. I would really like to have seen him try to rush the BKB here to play as the save from the Static Storm.
Yeah, I agree. I really would have liked the BKB as well this game. Oh,
Oh,
Armel.
Travis.
Jump in. Should have the fault. Genuel from the right side, offering the burst. Nothing crazy with the commitment. Arena, 90-second cooldown. Like to get a little bit of map control out of this. They don't have an objective to be able to claim as well, but they can sweep through the lanes. They might go to the triangle and try and get a little bit of extra gold, help out with the economy on Fnatic. Potter 2 actually is going to be a bit cautious. Spear's still on cooldown for the moment.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Moonlight Shadow. Armel still sticking around mid lane.
Armel is in trouble.
TJ's nearby, and look at the turnaround. Static Storm, Solar Garnet, but Mamung Daya, he's got the BKB already to play with, so we'll turn with the Pulverize. KP's a pretty beefy man, and especially with the Wraith Pack laid down as well. shot. Ooh, almost blocking him in, but it looks like Junior. What the hell? What's that animation? Dude, somehow a Rubik, just this pesky dude, is just picks up a guy, just slams him into the ground, and it was that strong.
It was a very high superplex, the scan coming out from Fnatic mid lane. After a lot of spells casted, nothing really actually happening besides the Ruby going down. Gabby still farming, Orchid completed now. Jikro is doing a really good job of keeping up his net worth with the Naga.
Yeah, that he is. Who do you feel like is happy with the status quo of the game that we have?
I feel like everyone in this game is happy except this Ember.
Okay.
Ember's kind of poor.
Top lane among Dire. And look at the wraparound coming out.
Oh, they see Alul as well.
KP
Who's
might
setting
just
up
be baiting. Oh,
KP is kind of in some trouble. They
that
go on them.
is. Yeah, they want to try and bring down the support instead, but KP, he survives long enough. Thanks to the offering. His goddamn Wraith Pack item. Oh, the lure.
Oh, the dodge. Yes,
Got
snowball
the
as
juking
well.
fingers on. Could try and play
KP.
around with the shards as well. Another dodge of the Starbreaker. Not going to look for the kill though with the punch. They will be able to chase him down. Among Die even considering about looking to try and move in. He's going to be okay. They are setting up on mid as well. Potter 2. It's going to Remnant over to the right side. Gabby has the Orchid. Will not be able to catch up, however, to the Ember.
Yep, heads up by him, dodging Gabby. Gabby was Orchid reveal. Ratu really needs this BKB.
A little bit of gold until he's able to complete the recipe, but then it definitely feels like we could see Spawn try and be a little bit more proactive on the map. It's been Fnatic that have been making the plays so far, and I don't think that's going to stop anytime shortly as well. A big reason is they have this tier 1 tower still left standing, so a lot of map control that they can play with. Just set up the formation. Makes it very easy to be able to sweep across the map.
Yep, Spawn gonna need to deal with this bot lane soon. The illusions from Gabby
Just running to the
constantly
tree
shoving
line. Oh my, the reaction though.
Rojo now picked up a shard. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
It's
attack.
looking to save from the chain arrow, maybe.
Okay. It's pretty farmed as well in the Rubik. Even though he's got those 4 deaths, being able to keep up with the support on the Disruptor. And now they're going to smoke once again for Fnatic.
Radiant's top tower is under
Armel has BKB on the way. Spawn, they're kind of grouped up, but they probably do not know of this BKB. Pora 2 has a BKB as well.
Did you see Jake Roy with this Observer Ward? I believe they know where his farming pattern is. They're going to see him
Armel.
now, but they intercept it. Solar
Oh, he got
Guardian
his
trying to
BKB
protect
off.
Armel, but he's unable to get the Magic Immunity off. And now Radiant, this could be their team fight for the taking. Gabby's going to be forced to use the song defensively. Can they set up for the Static Storm? It's going to clip onto 2. Nothing they can do to protect the Morphling at the moment. They're going to try and target him down. All their attention just put onto Dick Roy. Now afterwards, they can clean up the Miranda as well. Great turnaround from Fnatic. It wasn't looking like a good start to the fight, but the song into Static Storm just completely turns that one on its head.
A great song by Gabby, setting up the 2-man Static Storms. All they needed to turn. This Morphling, he just wants the Static Storms on his head. There's nothing he can do. No BKB. Chose to go for the Lincoln and the Manta.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
That was a big fight for Fnatic. Gabby close to his heart now, actually. It feels like he's just taking over his game slowly.
Yeah, you just took the tier 2 tower as well down bottom. So now you got the outpost to play with. Naga can push up the illusions a little bit further to be that issue with the creep wave. And with how poor of a game Potter 2's had, he's kind of going to struggle with dealing with the illusions. Like, still, that was the first fight with the BKB, but he's so far away from the Maelstrom to really help out with some of the lanes.
Yeah, he's having trouble even killing the supports right now. Dota 2. After a solo kill on Armel, did not really keep up in net worth, kind of ran around.
Do we feel like a Fnatic shortly going to be considering about posturing around Roche, or is it still a couple of minutes where they want to just occupy the map and continue to grow the bank?
I think they're not in a rush. They can kind of do it anytime, but they definitely want to fight first, I think. They have a hard on Gabby now. He's super strong.
Dire are scanning.
Vince. Armel's looking. Will we get him?
Mamongdai has to use BKB for this solo kill on the Disruptor, so as soon as he respawns, there's going to be a window. They're going to be cautious, though. They do see Armel and Gabby underneath the Observer Ward.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are
Jacroy
fortified.
choosing to go for the Aghanims here. Not really a fan of this build. I feel like he just cannot fight. Like once Gabby, if Gabby casts Song, he's dead pretty much. Pawn don't seem to be itemizing to deal with this Naga Disruptor combo, and Fnatic, well, it's gonna come for them at some point.
That's going to get even more difficult for them to deal with, as only needs about 1,400 gold here for the Disruptor to complete the Scepter. Gonna have really big issues with how you can play the team fights.
Dire's middle tower is
It's honestly going to have to be a perfect start where you play off the back of the BKBs, get a couple of kills, and go from there. Armel?
Radiant's top tower.
He's
is
under the
attack.
ward, not too scared of anything, has the BKB, feeling really strong. Shard as well.
Radiant's top tower has
We'll
fallen.
jump in. Trying to force out something out of Potter 2. It's actually Mamongdai that's considering about charging in. Not going to be the case, however. A lot of aggressive positioning out of Fnatic. Really wanting to force a team fight around this triangle.
Jacroy close to his Aghanims. We'll see how much impact this has, but Fnatic are kind of taking a very chill approach here, just taking the map slowly by slowly.
Well, this is a really key location on the map now, the triangle. Radiant's triangle in particular. If Gabby can park himself here, again, just makes it that much easier for him to be able to send the illusions to the lanes. You just can't get through on spawn. You run into this high ground location if you group up. There's the arena laid down, the song to set up for the static storm. And you'll never know whenever they're roshing. Like, someone needs to try and potentially have a trigger across the map. But a bottom tier 1 tower is not going to stop them at all. So Fnatic will move in.
Yeah, pretty free Roshan here. Don't think Spawn's ready to fight. Jacroy will get his Aghanims for this. Brave pack down on double as well. But once again, Fnatic, they don't look like they're in a rush. Just probably just gonna wait for this Aghanim Scepter on DJ. Not even necessary since there's no BKB on Jacroy. Or anything to really mute, that is.
Mamongdai? Hang on. They're coming pretty fast, man. He might not have an opportunity to play with the BKB. If the Glimpse actually breaks the Pulverize. And now Delul's going to try and show up as well. Lays down the Wraith pack, but the damage still from Gabby's going to be enough. And meanwhile, Armel also clips Mamongdai. Moonlight Shadow's not going to be enough under the cover of the Invis, as Fnatic know exactly where he is. Potter 2. Into the middle he goes, but he too is now in a bit of trouble. Gabby considering about using the song, but not going to be the case. They want to hold this in case a fight will soon break out.
Is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are
Jacroy, not much you can do.
tower has fallen.
Try to cut some waves.
They're going to see that Armel is not here. Doesn't matter. Seems like it's just a kind of a slow bleed out. And with Lee just continuing to grow, hasn't stopped growing for the entirety of the game.
Alright, Gabby purchases the Lincolns instead of the Scotty. Doesn't want to deal with this Jikroy Aghanims. I like it, they're ahead enough. No reason to have to let the more farm, because at the end of the day, this Aghanims is going to help the more farm 2 lanes with Naga Illusions. Gabby doesn't want that to happen. DJ finishing his Aghanims and gets a Psychic Headband as well.
Poggies. It feels like we're just going to see the difference in the fights where the supports on Radiant, I don't know if they're going to have as much impact as what Fnatic's are. I mean, they're looking to itemize incredibly defensively for the team fight. Again, with this Wraith Pact on the Tusk, and now the Moran is even going to a pipe as well, but I don't know if we're going to see the value out of it compared to something like a Scepter on the Disruptor.
Yeah, definitely not. Fnatic in a very commanding position. Pretty simple team fight execution as well. Just need to steep the Morphling over there.
Gabby, he's going to run straight into him. No hesitation with the use of the song. The rest of Radiant is starting to move over. That's going to be the reveal of the Scepter Static Storm. And down goes Mr. Jikroy. 3 ultimates used for it though. Arena, Static Storm along with a song.
Gabby once more.
See,
He's by himself.
He's got Genuel now to play with. Is anyone going to protect him in front of the tier 3 tower? Delul is asking for the boys, but look how hesitant they are. Mamongdai trying to hold them down with the pulverizing. KP is going to jump to the back line. It's up to Potter 2 though. A lot of damage with the Ember Spirit at the moment. Looking to address the supports on Fnatic and has been able to deal with one. But you haven't dealt with the cause. Mamongdai will charge in the middle, but still Gabby just standing his ground with the right-click damage. And Mamongdai will not be able to escape as well. Stop short thanks to the telekinesis as Fnatic continue to move on forward. Nothing is a concern for them this game. No tier 2 tower, no high ground will hold them back.
Gabby's just unkillable with his Hardened Lincolns. He's so far ahead. Elven Tunic, some evasion. Ember and Primal Beast, a bit too poor to deal with him right now, Gabby. So far ahead of the game.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Uh-oh. Song back up.
Where's DJ though? DJ's in the fountain.
They've got the arena.
Oh, or
They're even going to look to go for it. They'll start with the spear. Double stun control afterwards as well. This is really deep under the tier 4 tower. Gonna be cautious about the position in a moment, KP. Wraith Pack still been able to provide some help out. Gets a lot of life back on KP. There's the Static Storm. You're asking where DJ was, and well, he comes out in fine fashion with the ultimate to help Fnatic, what was in a really tricky position. KP? Okay, well, he's gonna put himself in even more of an awkward position. Mamongdai will charge into the middle to be able to clean up, but Armel lines up a beautiful double spear. A heavy commitment off the back of the double buyback, and Fnatic just going to look to try and disengage. Armel will TP out. Age is going to expire in 10 seconds as well as poor old Gabby. Oh, he'll die the once, and he will soon die the twice off the back of the respawn as well. They're going to surround him. No one. May as well just pop the BKB. Why not from Mamongdai? So in the end, a very heavy commitment from Spawn, but at least they are able to defend the base.
yeah, Fnatic, a bit of an overextension there, getting a bit excited. Does end up dying yeah, on Gabby. Picks up a new item though. What does he have? A Bloodthorn? Full Bloodthorn, I believe. Bit more damage, bit more magic resistance. Still in a very commanding position.
Dire's bottom tower is under
What are you up to, Genuel?
Going well. Establishing dominance.
Yeah, the classic.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Let's have a refresher now if he chooses to pick it up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I have some mana issues.
No soul ring. Yeah, that's a tough one.
You are with... What the heck? You're gonna have to go for a mana item next, I think, Armel.
By an Alman. Take DJ's headband. It's the only way. Or the pupils give even. Oh, Travin's in trouble here.
Oh, they missed it. Okay, telekinesis there.
Dude.
Well, it feels
It's a rough
very.
game.
It's a rough game. It doesn't seem like Radiant. They don't have this real team fight to turn some of the 5v5s around. You're really just banking on Fnatic doing something similar to what they did previously and just posturing a little bit too far aggressively and diving.
Dodge.
Gabby is going to be able to catch up to Delul.
Who?
Among Time will act as a deterrent to hold them back,
Oh.
but Gabby's going to play around with a song.
Oh, it's not
Two
the
heroes
morphing,
grouped
though.
up for the moment. Armel's going to look to try and jump in. They will get the Static Storm out afterwards. Let's see if this is going to give a free fight over to Jikroy, though. He needs to try and enter. Arena used down from the southern side. Armel doesn't have the damage to get the kill into the Primal Beast, though, so decent out of spot. Hang on, my guy goes into the middle. You don't really have the health pool to take this team fight, my friend, as KP lines up the double kill. Now Fnatic even trying to consider about jumping into the middle because they got the glimpse back. Beautiful setup for the spear and another death onto the support.
The Gabby song, then DJ was so far away, John Noel had to force stuff and lift DJ towards the song.
And well,
Got it. Yeah. Oh, he doesn't get mad.
glimpse back.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like he well and truly is. Genuel. Oh, he's styling on them. Oh, Genuel, stop it. Oh my god. What is the Rubik doing to them? Fnatic deep inside the base. Again, no place on the map is safe for spawn. It's been such a clean performance from Fnatic.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Is this now twice we've seen so far in the... Oh, KP.
Oh, the song
Oh, they
again.
got the
Here
storm
comes
again.
DJ, 2-man.
And Jikroy brought back Prior. And this is going to be game.
Oh,
Armel lines up the double spear, and yet they're going to call it quits even before the Morphling dies. Fnatic this time will be able to execute the Disruptor Naga opener in fine fashion.
Very clean game from them. Spawn not really having an answer to the song Static Storm even before the Aghanims on DJ. Couldn't really pull together anything.
Which is... I think we're going to have to see some respect come out now for... maybe respect's not the right way to put it, but you were saying, like, as soon as you see the Disruptor at the 5th pick, we saw Fnatic prior in yesterday's game where they just went for Naga at the 8th, and it was the exact same thing today as well. So I think if this is going to happen again in the next game, if Fnatic go for the Disruptor to open it, like Spawn need to kind of consider a different first phase to potentially block the Naga pick.
I do agree. It's all about the... I mean, kind of know where Fnatic wants to go with this first phase Disruptor, but I always see what Spawn come up in game 2.
Yeah, we'll see what they have under their belt. But I don't think it's going to be a game where the Lestrak gets let through. I think this is now a couple of games in a 3 games in a row, in fact, that we've seen just sides are banning out Jikroy's Lesh because we saw that they're just going to first phase it. Like, Jikroy has an incredible Lesh this hero. It's very, very strong at the moment. They'll just first phase it with how well they play it. So they're not going to get that comfort. So we'll see what other comfort that Spawn can play with to try and look to tie this series. But for game 1 of the second series, it's going to go Fnatic's way in 35-minute fashion. We'll see what game 2 has in store for us after the break.